Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm doing Eat This and Live by Dr. Don Colbert. So I'm just going to quickly introduce Dr. Colbert. He's a family practice and anti-aging medicine specialist. He's actually almost 80 years old now. And I don't think this photograph taken, it probably was taken about 10 years ago. You can imagine how he looks now. So he's really a good advertisement. And he practices what he preaches. He's medical director of the Divine Health and Wellness Center, where he helps individuals become healthy in mind, body, and soul. He's helped millions of people to discover the joy of living in divine health. He's a New York Times best-selling author. His books have sold very well over 10 million copies, and he's a TV, he's just a TV radio expert. So I'm really, really grateful to be reviewing his book today. In fact, I came to the task of the book review with a huge sense of excitement and positive energy. But however, with a sense of dread to be reviewing the book of one of the authority figures in his field, and also someone who I could consider one of my remote mentors, a man whose life's work has shaped my 20-year personal and professional wellness journey. I mean, I thought, how was I going to fulfill this daunting task? What an amazing surprise. That once I began reading it, it was in fact almost impossible to put the book down until I had consumed its over 179 odd pages. So that is amazing. That is just amazing. And so, introducing the book, the truth about it is that all foods are not created equal. Today we have an abundance of options when it comes to food we eat, but all foods are just, they're different. In fact, so I believe some foods should not really be tagged foods. They should just be called, I don't know, consumable products or something like that. This book is a roadmap. It is a roadmap that helps you navigate that treacherous territory of knowing which foods to eat and which foods should not be eaten. It is also based on his principles, another of his books called The 7 Pillars of Health, which is also another groundbreaking book, which if you can get that will be incredible. This book also teaches simple principles about how to eat, what to do with the food, and how to sometimes even prepare it. It teaches what the Bible has to say about food also, which some of us might find it really educative and enlightening, but it highlights a very grave research finding that according to the Institute of National Health, I think this was his passion too. And like I say, this is a lot of work I do myself, but according to him and the over 2,000 studies he has read, obesity and overweight together are the second leading cause of preventable death in the United States, but now practically all over the world. It is becoming an epidemic for us. And so this book is really well timed for us at this point. So this book is going to show us about life and death choices. It has a beautiful layout, and I'm going to go straight into the concepts. There are 2 concepts of this book which I find are pivotal for us understanding this book. And the first concept weaves about where Dr. Colbert paints this dramatic picture of the stark consequences of the food choices before us. He says, imagine you are standing at a crossroads with 2 arrows pointing in opposite directions, one leading to life and the other leading to death. I think you can put in the chat box which one you would take. I think it's obvious which one we all will take. And he also gave another striking, dramatic visual picture. And he said, imagine you have 2 shelves in your pantry, in your store, or one that says dead food and the other that says living food. And on the dead food shelf, it says this food will increase your risk of developing degenerative disease, cardiovascular disease, rheumatoid arthritis, cancers, and all that. And then on the life-giving foods, the life foods, these ones will make you very, very healthy. It will reduce your risk of disease. It will energize you and enliven you. Again, please put in the chat box which one you would choose. That is the amazing concept he introduces us to, the one of living and dead foods. So moving on very quickly, what are living foods and what are dead foods? Living foods are fruits, vegetables, grains, anything that is nearest to nature. They exist in a raw form and they look robust, they look healthy, and alive. When you eat these living foods, the enzymes in their pristine state interfere in the sort of enable your digestive enzymes to work very, very, very well. Dead foods are the opposite. They've been altered in every imaginable way to make them last as long as possible. They are very addictive. There are lots of sugar in them, lots of hydrogenated stuff, and they last very, very long. They can put in shelf. You know, some of them are the cereals and stuff like that. And some of them are food that we eat. Some of us can recognize some of these foods. They have been made with a high level of oils and dead foods. So this is the first concept that Dr. Colbert very, very eloquently shares with us. And the second concept is the fact that our body is a temple. And he describes your body is, you're a masterpiece. You are designed according to the eternal plan of God, and you nourish your temple and you don't pollute it. You know, only God himself could have created this remarkable act of art and science. And we know that there's no scientist who has still been able to replicate the human body. We are amazing. But with regards to God's original plan for food, in Genesis 1:29, it talks about giving every green herb for food. However, that plan changed after the flood, and man was permitted to eat meat. But when the Mosaic instructions came on, Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, there were a few restrictions, well, several restrictions that were given. And Jesus Christ followed the Mosaic law to the letter. He ate living foods, he had nuts, he had herbs, he had fresh fish and all that, but he rejected certain types of food like pork and shellfish and those animals that divided the hoof, and the long list that you will find when you go to Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. However, in this new dispensation that we have now, Paul has told us in 1 Timothy 4:4-5 that all foods are created by God and to be received with thanksgiving. But there's still a big but. We still need to apply wisdom with a lot of foods. And researchers have seen, which is what he also described in the book, researchers have seen that those foods that are bad for us, according to Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, continue to still be bad for us. And so we need to apply wisdom when we eat those foods. So those are the two concepts which are, to me, just amazing. And then we now move into the heart of the matter. Chapters 4 and 5 talk very, very, very interestingly about two concepts. One, food to avoid, and the second concept is foods that you can eat. And some of what you see in that book, which obviously I can't go through, will shock you. Some of us know this already, that monosodium glutamate is a complete no-no, the one that we have in seasoning cubes, because there are over 20 diseases, which I'm not going to list today, but you can find it in the book, that are associated with monosodium glutamate, and it actually is carcinogenic. Again, he spoke a lot about pesticides. That to me is a big heart sink, because especially DDT and those chemicals that even have been banned in other countries, we have it, things like sniper and stuff like that. So pesticide exposure changes areas of the brain involved in multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, Alzheimer's disease. Just as you thought it was, you couldn't bear any more of this bad news, he spoke about the dangers of sugar and also the dangers of sweeteners. Dr. Colbert expertly navigates the terrain of hydrogenated fats and oils, proving that not all fats are equal. You got to get the book to really, grasp and appreciate the importance of what he speaks about. There's another big section on the free radicals, which are atomic structures that are formed as a result of stress and all sorts of bad things that happen in the body. And he talks again about the free radicals that cause disease. And that is the first heart of the matter. The second heart of the matter is what I'm moving to right now, which is the second heart of the matter is the foods that we should be eating. And these are lots of vitamins, supplements, and all that. And these phytonutrients, he calls them phytonutrients. I know a little bit about phytonutrients because phytonutrients are about 2,000 of them. And you find them in these foods that I'm highlighting here right now. I hope we can all see the screen. You find them in all these beautiful foods, all of them which we have all over the world. I don't think we really have any excuse. You can see in this rainbow of health, where we have coconut, we have cabbage, we have garlic, onion. That's the white benefits for immune support. This is what the phytonutrients do for us. You can see in the green part, which is the apples, the avocado pears, and all our ugu and all those green veg, detoxification. And then you can see in the yellow bit, we have the pineapple, the corn, and it just gives beauty. It makes your skin fresh. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, I tell you. And look at the orange bit. You know, we have our carrots, our pumpkins, which are very, very prevalent in Africa and the tropics also. And they can help you to prevent cancer. And then we have those that help with heart health, the red parts, which is the watermelon. And even we have purple. We have our beetroots and all that in all over the world. So we really need to dig into this information with regards to phytonutrients and how they really can help us. Dr. Colbert also goes into water, which is our miracle cure. He talks about water making up 75% of our body. Water really is life. He talks about it being the lubricant in joint spaces. And to be frank, if you drink your water properly, you may be able to avoid things like arthritis and back pain and stuff like that. Water is actually miraculous. You won't believe that, well, he said, and all the robust body of evidence tells us that it helps to increase the immune system, the efficiency of the immune system. It flushes the systems whereby arteries and veins are just in a great state, and it prevents high blood pressure and stroke. It is also related to the brain function. When you drink water, you get more active, you get more bright. There's lots of other water-induced benefits that we have, which I will not be able to speak about here, but I think it is going to be very important that we really gain that understanding. It helps to prevent memory loss. Now, special features of this book. It actually is a very highly intellectual book, but understandable. It persuades its reader to reason. It dives deep into the mind-body connection, the psychology of why we eat, wrong foods, the root cause of craving, comfort eating, emotional eating, and practical tips to overcome these slippery slopes. You know, it is unusual because it is actually a visual delight. That's the only thing I can say about it. You look at it and you already feel better. You feel like as if you're healthier just by looking at it. The color combinations is full of colors. It is simple. The layout, the nuggets, quizzes, real life stories for maximum impact and engagement. It has little did you know sections. And one of the sections says, people who restrict their calories live longer. I was telling my husband about that. He raised his eyebrow. I mean, you would have thought my husband knows almost everything about health because, you know, obviously he's married to somebody who is interested in. But I told him, you know, Dr. Colbert said, it actually improves your lifestyle by 30 to 50%. It extends your life. You know, when you restrict your calorie, you live longer. There were quizzes. Again, you can answer this in the chat box. A watermelon, a lettuce, or a grapefruit, which has the most water content? Which has the most water? Again, this is puzzling, but it's good to know about this. It's really good to know. Please answer right in the chat box. Another thing it does is that there are sections for reflective questions. What would Jesus eat? What will I do in this position? You know, how can I navigate this? You know, what type of life do I want to live? You know, what type of lifestyle, what type of legacy do I want to leave? There's also a section for children. Did you know that there's a section for children also? So this book, it and Live is a gorgeous, stunning, and visually pleasing book. It's a treasure trove of delight. It proves that you are the author of your good health, and what you eat is what you become. It's not only a nutritional book, though it has a few recipes. It's not just that. It is a medical book. It's not a judgmental book. You know, you can start, it says, Dr. Colbert says, you can start gradually where you are and change over a period of time. You know, and he also eloquently states that the path to health is not strewn with pain and tasteless foods, but beautiful, rich, fresh, tasty foods, simple food choices that will make you feel full for longer. You know, it is an American book, right? written by an American, but it is actually targeted to a global audience. Most of the foods described are found abundantly in all parts of the world, including Africa. You know, it's not a novel. It's not a book you can read and drop. It is a guidebook for life. It's something you should put on your shelf and just, you know, refer to it now and then. You know, this book was written over 12 years ago, but its principles are ageless and they are timeless. It is a doable book, as has also been demonstrated by my own self, because like I say, I've really lived by, and lots of my friends have lived by some of the principles of this book. It is actually doable, and it helped me to move from my, well, I'll talk about that in a second. But Dr. Colbert didn't just leave this as adults, leave adults to sort themselves out. There's also another book for children called Eat This and Live for Kids. So that is another one that helps children to navigate that terrain. So in conclusion, it's a highly intellectual, practical book, easy to follow instructions about managing dietary change, biblical principles for healthy eating, engaging content. It's a succinct read, straight to the point. It gives a call to action, which says choose life. And lastly, it is doable, as has been demonstrated in my own weight loss and health gain journey, which you can see here. So I am one of the, should I say, health disciples of Dr. Colbert. This is my before picture. This is my after picture. This is how I still am 20 years after my weight loss journey and health gain journey. So you really appreciate that this is not just an ordinary book. So thank you very much for your attention. And just to share with you that LATERNA is giving us a 10% off these two beautiful books from 20th to 30th of July. You can call the number on the screen, and you can visit 13 Okwawo Close, Victoria Island, to see much more books by Dr. Colbert and the ones that have been advertised in the past at the beginning of this talk. Now, if you also want to contact me, these are my details here. My WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Flax Medical, and you can also contact me through LATERNA. I don't know whether you answered that question, but yes, I'll give you the answer. What has the most water content is lettuce. Lettuce, that's what it is. So thank you very much, Mr. Kasim. Over to you. I have fun doing this.
Thank you, Dr. Abraham. So brilliant, so energetic, so fun. Thank you. That was a good time, really good time.
Are you a book lover or enthusiast? Do you need genuine and unique lifestyle products? Or are you looking for a place where you can find contemporary and a wide range of unique gifts for children and adults? LATERNA is your go-to place for genuine and contemporary books and lifestyle products for wholesale and retail customers. We stock business books on management, leadership, financial success, entrepreneurship, personal development, and so much more. We carry children's fiction, non-fiction, educational books, CDs, and DVDs. We also stock Christian books on various themes such as family life and parenting, church life and growth, spirit-filled living, love, sex, and marriage, to mention but a few. LATERNA carries life and style books such as baby and child care, beauty and style, conception and pregnancy, crafts, and hobbies. We also carry adult, children, and teenagers' Bibles, educational toys, framed art, gifts, greeting cards, home and office fragrances, music CDs and DVDs, stationery, teachings, and lots more. Our stores are located at 12B and 13 Okoawo Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. You can also shop online at www.laternabooks.com. LATERNA, your lifestyle hub for book lovers. For inquiries, call 0803 301 4462, 0906 0002046 or 7. Chat with us via WhatsApp on 0803 301 4462. You may also reach us on social media via Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at LATERNA Books and LATERNA Ventures.